Hey guys, Coach Caitlin here. So today is day 2 out of 3 of my little short series of videos that I'm doing for you guys, kind of talking about my past and how it influenced my journey with health and fitness and how it got me to where I am now. Yesterday I talked about, if you didn't see the video, how when I was in high school I really struggled with body image and I took diet pills. Today I'm going to talk about one of the reasons that was a very big excuse in my life and why I didn't work out, and another thing that I really felt was now looking back, was a limiting belief that I had on myself. I've talked about it before, and it is something I always briefly touch on kind of in videos, why I never worked out. And it's a big excuse that I had for myself was my knees. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to talk about it. But my left knee, since I was 16 to 18, dislocated 10 times. And actually it just dislocated again Saturday for the first time in like 2 years, actually almost to date, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And then my right knee 12 times. So from the age 16 to 18, I dislocated both my knees a total of 22 times. The first time I was like 16, I wasn't sure. I was getting up from doing a push-up and it happened. My dad told me I was crazy, or that I wasn't, like, that's not what happened, and like everybody kind of wasn't sure. And then my knee started swelling and I'm like, oh well, maybe something did happen. And it kept happening, and weird things like I would do, like if I remember happening at a school dance at like winter formal when I was dancing, or when we were what we used to call freaking and it scared me. And I remember it happened when I would just get up from standing up, and when I went to the doctors for it the first time after I had a severe one, they told me, I had this horrible doctor, and my friend's mom was with me at the time, Carolyn, and we sat down and the doctor said it was happening because I was overweight, which wasn't true. I've talked to a few doctors since. The last time before, a couple days ago when I dislocated it, I had to go to physical therapy and had to go to the ER and all these things, and I have hyperextended joints. I don't know if you guys can see it, but what that's caused by is weak ligaments, and so I have weak ligaments in my knees as well, but my knees are also off-centered. Women's are off-centered a little more than men's, but mine are off so more. And so what is the issue is I have these ligaments that are weak, but they're pulling against the kneecap, trying to push it out of place. But at the time, it took a lot to like hear that. I was 16 and I was sitting down and I had a doctor tell me, I'm sorry, you're overweight and that's why your knees are dislocating. And that's what kind of led to the diet pills. But anyway, so I use that as an excuse. Oh, I can't work out because of my knees. I can't do this because of my knees. I can't run. I can't jump. I can't lift things. I can't do this because of my knees. And I had that as a limiting belief for a really long time. I just use it as an excuse. I also, like I've mentioned, I don't like going to the gym. I would feel more confident about it now, but I used to just be so insecure with my body, and I would be so preoccupied with what everybody else was doing that I wouldn't know what to do myself. So up until the time I was 18, when I dislocated it really, really badly, my left knee, I tore like 2 major ligaments in my knee, and I had to be in this horrible knee brace that went from like the top of my thigh to my calf for like a month and a half, and then I had to do like 3 months of physical therapy, and physical therapy was hard work. That was the closest thing I'd ever been to like in a gym. I had to go like 4 or 5 times a week for the first month, and when it started, they had me like working out and strengthening my knees and giving me these things. And the doctors told me, though, if it kept happening, if my knees dislocated again or if I tore anything again, I'd have to have surgery on both of my knees. And that's when they're like, but you can prevent it by working out and by strengthening your knees. And that was like a novelty because I was in the thought process at the time. I used it as an excuse, as a prevention by not working out. Oh, I can hurt my knees. But really, it all clicked and that's what I was supposed to be doing. So I kind of started doing knee strengthening exercises and things like that. But when I was in physical therapy, I was in better shape than I had been in a really long time. Funny thought. But it's the truth. And then I still used it as an excuse until about a year and a half later, when I started Whole30 after I went gluten-free. And me and my friend Carly and Jen, we found CrossFit. And that was when I actually stopped making excuses and I was like, okay, I have bad knees. I told my trainers about it and that was something I could do. They're like, you can still lift, you just have to focus on form. You just have to focus on what you're doing and keeping your knees in place so you don't aggravate it. But it was possible, and for the longest time I had told myself it wasn't possible because that's just what I thought and what I felt, and because we're so easy to put excuses and labels on everything and limiting beliefs and tell ourselves we can't because we're afraid. And I know that's how it was for me. I was afraid for a really long time that my knees would dislocate, but it was keeping me from really getting healthy. And CrossFit was really what sparked my interest in everything else and how I ended up being a health and fitness coach and doing this from home because I sparked my interest in working out, that I didn't have to spend hours at a gym, that I could go and in under 30 minutes or in 30 minutes I could get a killer workout. And that's the thing, is you just have to like get over yourself. And it can be hard. We all have excuses. We all have injuries. We all have health problems. But the thing is, health is the baseline, and those injuries or those things are only going to get better if you start. You just have to start. You have to think, what if I started? Because I know if I hadn't started, my knees would probably be worse than they are now. I have been doing max 30 and I was going more of the high impact route and modifying less, and I really wasn't cycling. Like riding my bike really helps those muscles around my knees and strengthen it so it dislocates less, and I had stopped doing that and I had aggravated it, so Saturday night it had dislocated. But the fact is, this time I'm a lot healthier, I'm a lot more fit, so it wasn't like a major deal. And I was able to get back on. We have a cycle trainer, a stationary trainer, sorry, Dylan was telling me, and I was able to do that, and it really helped my knee just get me back in the swing of things instead of just sitting on the couch, which I did do, and I elevated and I iced it, but I was able to jump back in, and I'm going to do max 30 tonight. I took a break for a couple days just to let it rest, but I was doing the stationary trainer. But the thing is, I'm not making excuses just because my knee. I'm not setting it as a limiting belief anymore. And I'm going to be smart. I'm going to modify. I'm not going to go as hard as I normally would. And I'm going to keep it low impact. I'm just really going to focus on form. And I know I'm still going to get a killer workout. But I'm not going to let things like that be the reason to make excuses, because I made a commitment to myself and my health. And I'm going to stick to it. But I think it all comes back to, like I said, limiting beliefs, telling ourselves we can and can't. We all have things in our life that stops us. We all have things that we say, oh, we can't do that because of this. I always said I wasn't a runner. I can't run. I couldn't do cardio. Look, I'm doing cardio. We have our calendar for max 30 behind us. But now I'm doing it, and my endurance is getting better and better with max 30. So just stop making excuses for yourself. Go into 2015 feeling strong, reflecting on 2014, and see what you can do better. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. And if you watch this, thanks for watching. It's almost 10 minutes now. And like I said, just make this year like your healthiest you, and start it and end it in your best skin. Okay, bye guys.